Now, do social media managers have a responsibility to check the third-party sites that people complain on, like Hello Peter or TripAdvisor?
Mm-hmm.
Whose responsibility is it to check those and respond to those?
It's a good question. Again, there's enough of them out there to make it quite a job for social media. Indeed. But the idea is, again, and I keep seeming to go back to this, if you put down a tool like a Radian 6, which is a social media listening tool, and if you deploy that, you can bring everything into a single dashboard. So it will bring in the likes of a forum, any digital assets, so websites, news sites, social media sites, any mentions of related keywords that you've put out to listen to. We'll bring it into.
It will bring it all back to you. That sounds very convenient.
Yes, it is indeed. And it then puts it into the channel so that you can see this is what's being said in Facebook, this is what's been said in Twitter, this is what's being said under news forums, etc., etc. And it also gives you the ability, there's an engagement console, so it gives you the ability to right there and then in your dashboard engage. So you're not missing anything because it's coming through. If you've red flagged certain keywords, it will raise those so that you don't miss any negative things are said about you, but you also don't miss any positives because we all want to reinforce the positives.
Yeah,
so,
exactly.
So you can sit there and as a community manager in one dashboard on one screen, you can monitor what's going on in your world.
Now, I think a lot of corporates are afraid that something bad is going to happen and it's going to go viral. I mean, we've seen it happen to a lot of different brands, oopsies, and a lot of there is not just one social media manager. There's probably a few, and they need to be on the same page. So, what do we do to prevent these things from happening? Can we prevent them from happening?
I don't think you can ever prevent them from happening in its entirety. Something will always slip through. We are humans after all, at the end of the day, and humans apparently do make mistakes. So yes, it's how, if something like that does slip through, how we respond to it. So we've had quite a number of large retail brands that have had issues, and if you followed a particular one that's had a number of issues within their stores, you'll realize how quickly they've learned from each incident and how the latest one was almost a non-issue because of the speed that they tackled it and the manner in which they tackled it. So if everybody in the team is briefed on this and is singing off the same song sheet, you will shut that down as quickly as it happens and turn it into some form of either customer service, so where you can minimize the impact, or you could even perhaps turn it into a positive by rewarding that person or entity for whatever contribution they made.
Now, I think you answered this earlier, but you would recommend that companies have their own social media team, not use freelancers or outsource.
Well, so generally there should be a internal resource that has the sole responsibility to manage that brand or company's reputation. You can't ask somebody outside to do that. What you can do outside is you can, for example, if you're doing pure online reputation management, you can get an external team that can monitor based on predetermined keywords, etc., that have been set up, and they can monitor, score, and report. And if something big comes in, they know to escalate, and they know which department, which person, etc., to escalate to the internal team. So you can have an external team that listens, scores, determines whether it needs to workflow into which area, and then does that part. But once it comes into sort of a reputational arena that it needs engagement, then very often we recommend that if you have an external team, that they sit internally with that company so that they have somebody on hand who can assist if it is something quite large, or you have an internal team that is trained by the company that provides the software so that they understand how it works.